And so now it is.
That's recording.
But don't.
Just let it be like that.
Okay.
Is it good?
We're good. Go.
Okay. Hi, I'm Susie Cho. I'm going to be a senior next year when you guys come up to McLean, and I'm going to be one of the co-captains for the team next year, along with a wonderful person named Michelle Ma, who I'm sure you've met, but who isn't here in the video today.
I'm Shri Medichurla, and I am going to be a junior next year. Next year, I will be assistant captain for McLean Debate, as well as public forum captain, along with Melanie Pincus, who you guys will get a chance to meet.
Hi everyone, I'm Fatima Shabazz. I'll be your novice captain for next year, so you'll all be working very closely with me. I'm also going to be the Congress captain with Jessica Boyer.
Who is me? I'm Jessica Boyer. I'm a rising junior, and I'm next year's secretary and Congress co-captain with my wonderful PF partner, Fatima.
Okay, so everyone, this is just McLean Debate. So we're here to tell you more about McLean Debate, expand upon PF, stuff like that. So just for a brief overview of why you should join. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are already in debate as you're watching this video today, but just to give a brief overview, debate as a whole is a great experience. You meet amazing people like these wonderful individuals here. It obviously is a great resume and college app filler. Colleges love seeing nationally ranked debaters, we're not gonna lie. And it keeps you up to date with current events. You will be able to speak in class about gun rights, about body cams, about the nuclear proliferation treaty, topics that your peers don't know much about that you'll be able to be more well versed on. And finally, it's actually fun. Regardless, too. Despite public opinion, debate's actually one of my most fun activities that I participated in high school, and I love it.
Alright, so if you guys are interested, which you should be, join our Facebook group, McLean Debate, and 2015-2016. You guys can just request to join and we'll add you. Also sign up for a mailing list. Both of these are great ways to receive updates about upcoming tournaments and upcoming meetings and events that McLean Debate will be hosting. And we have weekly Thursday meetings in Missions Room, so come to those, and then club dues for everyone in the club.
Okay, so what you do in debate, essentially this is something that's changing with the upcoming year because we're adding a lot of fields, but overall what you do is you attend tournaments that are known as walkfuls. They're monthly with a different topic for each tournament. We also have weekly meetings often to discuss these topics and also just deliver any pertinent information. Where, like I said, we discuss current events, cry over research, it's a necessity, and debate current issues outside of tournaments. And of course, at McLean, we win.
Okay, so though McLean Debate is a very new team, approximately 4 years old, we have experienced immense success in the tournaments that we've been able to go to. We have been, you can see some of our achievements here, first place in sweepstakes, which is aggregate overall wins in the DC metro area in 2013, third in 2014, and second in 2015. We also have two teams this year who are going to the National Debate Tournament, which is one of the most prestigious tournaments in the nation. We've seen that a lot of our debaters are going to colleges like Yale, Princeton, Brown, Swarthmore, UVA, UC Berkeley, and Georgetown. And with the addition of even more forms of debate, such as Lincoln Douglas next year, we're only going to expect even more of these successes and are looking forward to what McLean Debate has to hold.
Yeah, we'll be offering all 4 events: Public Forum, Lincoln Douglas, Congress, and Policy. So if you're interested in any type of debate that you haven't been exposed to in middle school, we strongly encourage you to join any of our 4 teams.
And
Gosh.
There's
our medals and our awards and our team photos.
Where is that?
This is at Penn. This
Penn.
one's at UPenn. Yeah. We also go to lots of national circuit tournaments, so you'll get to experience more competitive environments, and
That's just a
it's a great experience.
Right?
I think this is Metros.
This is Metros. That was Metros.
And then that is just a collection of our many awards.
From one tournament. Only one tournament. Okay.
All right.
So
you
can go first.
All right. So public forum debate. This is like the main form of debate that we focus on at McLean, and next year we hope to expand, but public forum will remain an important part of McLean Debate. It's a type of debate between 2 teams, each consisting of 2 people in a spectator sport type of debate. So you'll have a partner and you'll be debating against another partner team. The debate is a mix of evidence and logical based arguments with a heavy emphasis on refutations and rebuttals. So when you are a public forum debater, it's really important to be able to think on your feet and make rebuttals quickly. Topics change every month, so keep it fresh, keep it interesting.
And then there's also LD, or Lincoln Douglas, which is another form of debate that we have had prior to this upcoming year. So LD is a debate between two individuals and a modern-day reenactment of the Lincoln Douglas debates of the mid-19th century. So basically, this differs from public forum in that you work on this alone, you're not on a team, and it focuses heavily on ethical values, logic, and philosophy. So it's more moral as opposed to public forum, which relies on a lot of empirical evidence. And the topics change every 2 months as opposed to 1.
Okay, policy debate. This is the oldest form of debate, the most well-known. It's a 2-on-2 style debate that focuses on a singular topic that remains the same throughout the school year. So this topic won't change. It'll be one topic that is constantly expanded upon every month. It's very, very focused on evidence and logic. This is the most well-known style of debate, and it's where students spread. If you've heard of that, it's when students talk really fast, as I'm doing right now. Okay, next up. And then finally, congressional debate. This is a debate that we both will be co-captaining next year, and it's a single-person debate that simulates the U.S. legislative process. Students are given give eloquent speeches for and against legislation and topics, and create resolutions and bills for the topic. If any of you are in Module 1, it's very similar to that process, and it branches off from the typical debate style of against something and for something. Public forum debate. This is more in depth than public forum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, public forum. It's also PF. All right. What are you writing with this? All right.
This is just a recap of
Just a recap. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. We already covered it.
So this is the difference between parliamentary debate and PF debate. Parliamentary debate has 3 members per team. PF has 2.
There's a type of debate that you're doing in middle school right now.
Yeah.
In case you don't know, you're doing it for 2 years.
Okay. So she can spend more on.
Oh, okay. Well, you mean on Parley versus PF?
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
All right. So parliamentary debate, you don't have crossfires, and PF you have crossfires. So what a crossfire is like literally an open debate where you guys can go at it and say whatever you want to each other. You know, within reason, but say whatever you want to each other. No more points of information or anything like that. And both speakers need to know how to do rebuttals and summarize well. So it really takes all the skills that you learn in parliamentary debate, and you have to be competent at all of them in PF. Yeah.
Okay. So what do we argue about? You argue the resolution, aka the topic, which I'm sure many of you have done so far this year. It's given to you by the National Speech and Debate Association. Resolutions often involve domestic or international issues like immigration and U.S. policy. For example, in the past, we've had some on immigration reform, whether it should include a pathway to citizenship or not. On balance, the benefits of genetically modified foods outweigh the harms. We've had topics on single-gender classrooms, on the NPT, on the Sahel region of Africa, and recently on ISIL and ISIS.
How do you argue the resolution? So you and your partner, you have an obligation to both argue for and against the resolution, affirming and negating it. So basically how you would structure each presentation that you're going to have to make, remember you're making 2, is using contentions. And these are statements about the topic pertaining to your side that would help you convince the judge that you are the side that they should be voting for. Within these contentions, you'll be presenting evidence, which you find from statements and studies and reports that help to support your contentions.
Okay, so speeches. You can write your speeches in a plethora of ways, but what you're going to do is have an opening statement, which affirming, negating the resolution. You're also going to define any key terms that you think will especially help your side. That's called framework. You're typically going to have 2 to 3 contentions, and then evidence. And with this evidence and your contention development, you're going to want to know that unorthodoxy is key. You want to have very obscure, unique arguments so that you can throw your opponents off guard and also get to know the topic in a new perspective that others may not be familiar with. Shall I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, and like Susie said, a lot of this is subject to modification, but the two or three contentions that you have and the evidence that's included within them is pretty standardized. I wouldn't recommend attempting to present a case any
4
other way
contentions
without
or 1 contention.
dividing
Oh,
contentions
yeah.
that are very clear and concise with your evidence within them.
Okay, so now if we have an amazing sample speech by Susie Choi.
So this is a speech that my partner and I wrote in February. Should I stand?
Yeah, where are you?
Okay. And the topic was whether economic globalization benefits worldwide poverty reduction. Keep in mind, speech is around 4 minutes long, so I'm gonna just commence now. Michelle and I strongly affirm, resolved, on balance, economic globalization benefits worldwide poverty reduction. Economic globalization is the increasing interdependence of world economies as a result of growing cross-border trade, flow of international capital, and spread of technologies. We also observe that the definition of poverty is multifaceted. As John Anderson of the U.S. Agency for International Development explains, poverty includes more than just income. Access to education, health, credit, and other productive resources are also important. Thus, all aspects of the word poverty should be considered in today's round. Contention 1, health, subpoint A, vaccines. Economic globalization has allowed for the transfer of vaccine technology and pharmaceutical firm globalization necessary to combat diseases ravaging the impoverished. The American Academy of Pediatrics reports the Measles and Rubella Initiative has reduced measles deaths globally by 74%. Additionally, 2012 saw a 99% decrease in polio cases from when the vaccination effort began in 1984. And since its launch in 2000, the Gavi Alliance has contributed to the immunization of an additional 370 million children in 73 of the world's poorest countries. Judge, economic globalization does not just reduce poverty by allowing the poor to gain access to necessary health assistance, because, as the World Health Organization elaborates, scaling up the use of existing vaccines in 72 of the world's poorest countries could save 6.4 million lives and avert $145 billion in productivity losses between 2011 and 2020. Subpoint B, birth control. As a result of economic globalization, when international organizations like the International Planned Parenthood Federation distribute resources such as birth control to developing nations, they relieve poverty, especially among women. As stated in our definition of economic globalization, the distribution of these items constitutes as economic globalization because of their international capital nature. Birth control constitutes as capital because it holds monetary value. According to Brown of J.P. Morgan, early legal access to birth control is associated with the reduction in the probability that a woman is in poverty by 1 percentage point. Both as a direct consequence of access to birth control and through other channels that access to birth control influences, such as continued education and gaining greater work experience before starting a family. Furthermore, in 2012, the IPPF alone distributed 39 million sexual and reproductive health services, 7 million HIV-related services, 227 million condoms, and 360,000 abortion-related services. Increases in life expectancy, in particular, were driven by the international diffusion and implementation of public health knowledge, vaccines, and birth control practices. This improvement in health constitutes a reduction in poverty under a multifaceted definition. Contention 2, bicycles. Using data from the World Watch Institute, Walters explains that the dramatic rise in the global demand for bicycles is a function and sign of the rapid economic development that has occurred around the world since 1970. As globalization causes the economy to grow, people can afford more bicycles. Owning a bicycle increases the household's income by providing a free, faster method of transportation, leading to increased productivity. Studies in Uganda and Tanzania have found that bicycles increase a household's income by up to 55%. A study in Sri Lanka found that owning a bicycle led to a 17% long-run increase in income. A study in Zambia even found that access to bicycles increased school attendance by 27% and academic performance by 59%. Judge, we are providing 5 impacts of bicycles in today's round. 1, increasing attendance and performance of vulnerable children in schools. 2, retaining more girls in school. 3, improving teacher attendance and access to professional development activities. 4, uplifting the livelihoods of bicycle beneficiaries and their families. And 5, improving the safety and security of students traveling to and from school. For these reasons, vote pro.
Yay!
Okay, wait, can I make a couple of points about what she said? All right, so the first thing to note about what Susie just said is it's packed with evidence. You have to make sure that your cases are packed with evidence because obviously it makes it harder to rebut. Second, I think something really important to take away from that is unorthodox arguments. Those are, I mean, it's not necessary, obviously, but it's very beneficial because, I mean, I don't know, off the top of my head right now, I can't think of a solid way to rebut
Oh yeah,
the whole
I would
bicycle
have had a
argument.
POI and said, "Do you drive a bike to school?"
Oh, some other things that I wanted to note about Susie's speech that are more related to formatting. Some of the things she chose to do, such as saying like contention 1, subpoint A, B, those make it very clear to the judge what you're arguing, which is important because you want to sound eloquent, but you also want to be catering towards the judge and make it clear, because if your arguments seem sort of muddled, that's not going to help you overall, even if you have great evidence. Also, she enhances this by saying judge occasionally, which sort of, not to say they aren't paying attention, because debates are obviously very interesting, but it sort of grabs their attention again, or, highlights an important point.
the key is not to just refute your opponent's points, it's to convince the judge that you have won because your argument is better than theirs.
And also, in middle school, you guys have to like write out things. You can take type stuff in laptops and whatever you want to
Oh,
into
my.
your rounds. Yeah.